My name is Nhien. I'm a second-generation Vietnamese American. My parents are refugees from Vietnam. I was born in Texas, grew up in the Midwest, and currently reside in California. I've come to understand that the different aspects of my identity as an Asian American are tied to my experiences growing up in different parts of the United States. I'm curious about the different intersectionalities that influence our Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander communities. We are as diverse geographically as we are ethnically and culturally, from the Pacific Northwest to the Northeast, from California to Texas. I'll be traveling to different cities and states all across the nation to highlight the stories and challenges that make up our unique diaspora and also what brings our communities together. I'm in Austin, visiting the Summer Thut Festival hosted by the Vietnamese American community of Austin, Texas, a nonprofit organization also known as Vacat. Texas is home to one of the largest Vietnamese American communities in the United States, second only to California. I grew up in a Vietnamese household myself in Texas, about 3 hours away from Austin in the Dallas area. Being at the Thut Summer Festival felt like being back at home. I sat down with Ann Pham, the marketing director for Vacat, to tell me more about the festival and what Vacat does for the Vietnamese community here in Austin.
Yes, so today is our Summer Thut Festival, and that sounds a little weird because Thut is always in the winter, always at the beginning of the year, but because of the health concerns for the community, we decided to not only postpone it, but to combine it with our Thut Chung Tu. So we have the Summer Thut Lantern Festival. We have English as a second language, we have educational programs where we offer scholarships, we have all these volunteer into leadership positions, we have health fairs, we have cultural programming, and the focus that we've been having the most is the cultural programming because that's something that's been missing for, I'd say, 2 years, 2.5 years now. We're gonna have so much fun tonight. So besides seeing beautiful Vietnamese culture and seeing traditional outfits, we have a combined, not just Vietnamese, but we have Asian programming. So we have Bollywood dancing, we have lion dancing, we have Vietnamese food, Vietnamese entertainment, and then we have a few Congress members speaking today as well. And that's just a small percentage. We have games, we have lanterns, we have a lot of fun little activities as well.
Next, I got the opportunity to speak with Wynn Stanton Adams, who is on the board of advisors for Vacat. Wynn told me about both the challenges and highlights that the Vietnamese community has faced the past couple of years, as well as telling me her hopes for the future.
I think it's something that's been long-standing, but specifically in the recent years, I think that we as a Vietnamese community and kind of as part of the larger API community have faced the challenges of hate crimes and discrimination, especially, that came to light more, I think, during the COVID pandemic. The highlights are we came together during tough times. Again, especially, I want to highlight during the pandemic, the Vietnamese community responded by giving out free masks and free vaccinations and getting the word out and educating our community. So we are, we can be, the side that we need to grow more as we can be a fragmented community. But at the same time, despite the fragmentation, when push comes to shove, it's like we come together and it's all hands on deck. My hopes for the Vietnamese American community in Austin are that we gain the strength that we need to have a louder and bigger and more powerful voice in especially in the political arena, so that it helps elevate and it helps advocate and champion our needs as a community.
After my time in Austin, I made my way over to San Antonio, where I met up with Farhana Khan, the founder of the Razakaar Foundation, a nonprofit organization that works with the refugee population in San Antonio. I was able to accompany Farhana in visiting families from Afghanistan that the Razakaar Foundation has been helping to resettle since the Taliban took over control of the country. Farhana was able to describe during our visits the challenges that these Afghan families have faced since coming to the United States as refugees displaced by war.
Razakaar Foundation was formed after seeing the need of healthcare coordination for refugee families in San Antonio. We are seeing a much larger number of Afghan refugees in San Antonio. And actually, since last August, when the country fell and there was a regime change, there was a huge influx of refugee population. All of those people had multiple needs, but what we find that they struggle most with the healthcare navigation because they find the American system of healthcare very complex. And because of their previous country or their current situation, like coming out of the war situation, they have very complex healthcare needs. Without a proper person who can guide them, they don't always know where to go. So what we see that they end up in emergency room only when there is a severe need. And even when they try to make the appointments on their own, they don't get the appointments. So they show up on the emergency at random time, and it can increase the healthcare cost a lot. So we as healthcare navigators try to reduce that cost by connecting them to a primary care physician and then processing their referrals for specialty care and making sure that they're actually following through the sick checkups or the well checkups.
Visiting the Afghan families in San Antonio left a lasting impression on me. During my time I got to spend with them and hearing their stories of fleeing their country due to war and resettling in the United States, I couldn't help but think of the similarities between the Vietnamese American community and my own family's journey in coming to America. The hardships that the Afghan families have been going through in setting up new roots in a new country mirrored my own family struggle when they first came here. And yet, despite all the insurmountable challenges that comes with being an immigrant, there is still a sense of hope that things will be better. And that hope lies with the next generation. It was the same hope that my parents had for their kids, and I believe it will be the same for the younger generation of Afghans as well. All of the community-based organizations I visited are a part of the Asian and Pacific Islander American Health Forum's National Partner Network. Highlighting their work and talking about the challenges our communities face is instrumental in advocating for and improving the health of our AA and NHPI communities. To learn more about our work, visit our website at apiahf.org.